right, so they literally said it would never happen, that Minnesota would never cooperate with federal law enforcement to remove illegal immigrants. But yet, here we are. After weeks of protests, political chaos from the left, the state of Minnesota and the federal government are now actually coordinating on immigration enforcement. And with Tom Homan stepping in and taking control, what once sounded impossible is now reality. A complete 180 from what we heard from Minnesota Democrats, Tim Walz, Jacob Frey, Ilhan Omar, that said it would never happen. As always, guys, don't forget, smash that thumbs up button. That's the best way to let me know that you like the video. And you can stay locked in with more content by subscribing to the channel. Let's get into it. All right, and so let's begin here where it says Tom Homan just revealed Minnesota counties are letting ICE into the jails to arrest illegals. Unprecedented cooperation is now happening. What does that mean? Sounds like Tim Walz has surrendered and is willing to play ball. Let's take a listen.
Attorney General Mayor Frey and law enforcement officials about increasing coordination in a lawful way between the county jails and ICE to avoid public safety threats being released back in the community. While we had our differences, one thing was clear: we all committed to public safety for all who live in the Twin Cities. We have made significant progress under the direction of President Trump, working with state and local officials here in Minnesota, and I expect that to increase in the coming weeks. We continue to have discussions. I'll have discussions this afternoon. We currently have an unprecedented number of counties communicating with us now and allowing ICE to take custody of illegal aliens before they hit the streets. Unprecedented cooperation. And I'll say it again. This is efficient, requires only 1 or 2 officers to assume custody of a criminal alien target rather than 8 or 10 officers going into the community and arresting that public safety threat. This frees up more officers to arrest or remove criminal aliens. More officers taking custody of criminal aliens directly from the jails means less officers on the street doing criminal operations. This is smart law enforcement, not less law enforcement. It's safer for the community, safer for the officers, and safer for the alien.
All right, and so this is all they wanted from the very beginning: for local and state authorities to cooperate with federal law enforcement, notify them when a public safety threat, that's an illegal alien, is being detained and is in their jail, and cooperate with ICE so that way they can remove the safety threat. And now finally, Minnesota, after weeks of chaos and allowing left-wing extremists to ransack the city and do what they want, now you see that they're finally doing exactly what Tom Homan was asking for and what the Trump administration was asking for from the very beginning. And so now let me tell you the other side of it, because this was a negotiation and a deal was struck. And so as a result of now Minnesota cooperating with federal authorities, now they're going to be withdrawing several officers from the state of Minnesota. But here's Tom Homan speaking on that. Take a listen.
Before they release them, they don't hold them 1 minute past they normally would. Given this increase in unprecedented collaboration, and as a result of the need for less law enforcement officers to do this work in a safer environment, I have announced effective immediately, we will draw down 700 people effective today. 700 law enforcement personnel. We have also fully integrated CBP personnel into the ICRO team structure under one unified chain of command. Not 2 chains of command, there'd be 1 chain of command here. Any large enforcement operation I've ever been involved with, there's 1 chain of command, and that's where we're moving forward.
And so Tom Homan, ladies and gentlemen, came in and he's getting things more efficient. As you heard him say, placing CBP and ICE under 1 chain of command, not 2. Everyone reporting to 1 central leader, which is important. But beyond that, many believe Democrat leadership have been feeling the pressure to finally get something done, to finally cave, because state and local law enforcement officers, police in Minnesota, are beginning to speak out, are beginning to voice their frustrations on how they are seeing the state of Minnesota being run and how they're seeing the lawlessness unfold in Minneapolis and different parts of Minnesota. And so this comes directly from the Minneapolis Police Officers Association that blasts Democrat leadership for allowing radical left-wing anti-ICE agitators to set up mini-chop-style autonomous zones, barricading streets and creating lawless areas in Minneapolis. Take a listen. This is Fox.
The Minneapolis Police Officers Association is blasting these unauthorized checkpoints. The Officers Federation of Minneapolis does not support private individuals or groups establishing unauthorized checkpoints, blockades, or patrol zones on public streets. Peaceful protest is a constitutional right. Impersonating law enforcement, conducting stop and frisk activities, or physically blocking public roadways is not. Well, to your point, where are they when that's happening?
So just for everybody's clarification here, that's the police union speaking against their own department and saying they're not able to do their job. So you get all these guys, these leadership within these police departments that get on TV, speak against other cops, federal agents, because they are cops, and then their police union that are there say they don't support that.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, you have the police union, and they are making it clear that despite what you've been hearing from leadership, when you see Jacob Fry get on TV and he has the police chief, the Minneapolis police chief sitting next to him, and the Minneapolis police chief just shakes his head and nods and goes along and is basically a yes man for Jacob Fry as far as agreeing with all of the chaos that Jacob Fry is signing off on, that Tim Walz is signing off on, allowing to go down in the city. You have the police union finally speaking out saying, listen, as officers, we don't want this. This is not what we believe in. We don't back this. We don't support any of what we see going on here. And we want to make that clear. We want to separate ourselves from what Democrat leadership is pushing and putting out there and make it be known that we want to be able to do our jobs, but we're not being allowed to, because this has become a political issue. But now with more cooperation with the state towards the federal government working together, those blockades, those citizen checkpoints, police are now beginning to take them down. Take a listen.
New tonight, Minneapolis police are stepping in after a community created their own method of public safety against ICE. Uba Ali joins us live in Minneapolis with more on that. Uba?
Well, Frank, they say this is all in the name of public safety, a grassroots response to immigration enforcement they say is hurting their communities. At this roundabout at 34th and 17th, flames burn as people stand guard.
We are literally creating a place that we know who's coming and going in and out of our neighborhoods.
In the middle of the road at 32nd and Cedar Avenue, a makeshift roadblock turned this intersection into a roundabout. Cars slowed as drivers noticed, some honked, others asked questions, and one man brought food for the people standing watch.
Hi, sir. Thank you so much.
How did it make you feel just seeing a community checkpoint in your neighborhood?
Well, you know, it felt fine. I don't have any trouble with folks helping out.
Wade Haynes has been standing at this corner twice.
And the next question that should have been asked is, how do they feel about a southern border checkpoint? Because they're literally doing what Border Patrol does right now, except for they don't have any legal authority to actually do it. Border Patrol does.
Twice a day for one reason, to stand up against ICE activity and keep his community safe. He chose this corner. Others chose this intersection.
It's kind of inspiring. It's like, wow, okay. We've got folks out there who are kind of taking care of us, looking out for us. That's good.
But Minneapolis police stepped in, clearing the roadblock and restoring flow of traffic.
Honestly, I'm kind of sad about it.
Still, residents say the roadblock was necessary.
We need to keep our neighbors safe, so we will be doing this again.
A city spokesperson said they cleared the street to ensure public safety for the neighborhood and emergency vehicles. Frank?
All right, Uba, thank you.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, that right there is a galactic level of hypocrisy on full display. But this has always been obvious. This was never about law and order. It definitely was never about logic or consistency. This was all about losing an election. People were angry when their side lost, and they became even more unhinged when the president actually started doing exactly what he said he would do: enforce the law and carry out mass deportations. And that's when the hysteria kicked in. And look at what unfolded. They created their own checkpoints, their own borders, their own systems, deciding who can and who cannot move freely, the very thing they claim to oppose. And all of this was enabled by leadership, by Tim Walz, Jacob Fry, Ilhan Omar, who spent the entire time belittling law enforcement, undermining their authority, and signaling to extremists that this behavior was acceptable. But now with Tom Homan stepping in, it looks like things are taking a shift. But now let me hear from you. Drop your comments down below. Don't forget, smash that thumbs up button. Best way to let me know that you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to stay locked in with more of the content. Until next time.